What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. How freaking exciting is it for me to be live with all of you guys? I really enjoy going live. Don't feel like I get to go live, often enough, as often as I should. But whenever I do, it is always such a great time. Like, I love looking at the chat in the background as I'm like getting ready to go on. Like, it's so nice to see all of you guys here. Thank you so much for being here. It is just, Friday night. Well, for me, it's 10 o'clock or Friday evening or afternoon, wherever you are. And I figured, why not kind of go in and talk about what it was that Jenelle was breaking down in episode 2 of her Addicted to Growth series. And, a couple housekeeping items. Well, one housekeeping item before I really kick into this recap. I just wanted to let you guys know, because I'm seeing some of my channel members in the chat over here. Thank you guys so much for joining. I wanted to let you guys know that I will be recapping episode 9 of Teen Mom 2, the one on Netflix, tomorrow. And I will be putting up a poll for you guys to vote on what time we should be discussing it. It's the episode where Kale's mom, Susie, calls the cops on Joe. Adam calls Aubrey a turd, and then he and Chelsea break up for like the millionth time. And I think it is the final time as well. I'm seeing a question from Rebel Girl. Are you guys still on lockdown over there? No, we're not on lockdown. Now we're in this thing called curfew, where once it's 6 o'clock, you got to be in your house or you're getting €150 fine. And, a lot of people say that it's a lot more challenging than lockdown in its own kind of, different ways. Because on lockdown, at least after work, you can go stretch your legs. But now 6 o'clock, nope. No, nothing. Hey, Alexis, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Katura, Ashleen, and thank you so much for the super chat, Cass. It's so nice to see you like every single week, like in our channel, like talking in our channel membership section, like, like recapping the episodes and everything. So thank you so much for the super chat. And it is so nice to see you here again. And thank you so much through Faith and Grace for the lovely compliments. I am so appreciative of all of you guys. Now, episode 2 of Jenelle's Addicted to Growth series starts off with her still being at the hotel with the kids, and she's complaining about everything, you guys. She's complaining about how difficult it is to order groceries to a hotel room, which I'm like, okay, you've got your mother, Barbara. Can't one of you guys go to the grocery store and the other one stay up with all the kids? You've got like these people from like, that agency or whatever, who I guess at the time were desperate to sign you. Why couldn't they go do the groceries for you? You know what I mean? Like, remember when Jenelle smashed her phone on purpose when she was working at Teen Mom and she had Larry or whoever from the crew go and buy her a new one immediately? Why was she not flexing that kind of power? It was just like one of those like Jenelle kind of complaints there. And then she also complains about how difficult it is to go out and eat when you're so famous. And she's kind of like scoffing at people taking photos of her without like her noticing. She's like, like people will take photographs of me. Like, it's like, guys, if you want a photograph so badly, just come up to me and like, I will gladly give you a photo. And I'm kind of like, sis, I don't think you really understand that people don't want a photo with you. It's not like they think you're this like amazing person that they're excited to meet. They just want a photo to say, oh my God, that train wreck is eating at the same restaurant I'm eating at. There must be something wrong with me that I'm here. We like the same thing, It was so crazy. Ramster, oh my God, thank you so much for the super chat as well. It is, I'm happy that you think it's a great way to start the weekend. And I love that we spent so much time together, me and Ramster. She's been like a day one channel member. So like, I feel like I see her all the time. So thank you so much. It's so nice to see you. And I'm hoping to see you tomorrow too, when we recap episode 9 of Teen Mom 2, the one streaming on Netflix, season 1. So, she's like, I will just gladly give you guys a photograph, instead of you sneaking one. And she acts like people are desperate to get a photo of her. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And then here she is kind of reiterating the promise from the agency to get her work in Tennessee, which we all know never actually panned out. So while I was watching her episode, I was simultaneously like following the chat, because she was really like interacting with her, whoever was there in the chat box. And she's like hinting at like everything that went down with the network. She's going to spill the tea on that in like some of the upcoming episodes. And I'm really looking forward to that, because as far as I know, she did not book a damn thing while she was in Tennessee. And I'm pretty sure, knowing Jenelle, she is going to have a lot of, like like mess to say about that. She's going to blame it all completely on the agency, which of course is not fair. Jenelle is persona non grata literally like everywhere, so it's not the agency's fault that they can't book her something. The only fault of theirs is that they were dumb enough to promise her anything. Her husband shot a dog dead in the backyard with the children in the house for no reason. It was like a 10-pound dog. Like she has a lot of her own mess, like all this domestic violence, this animal abuse, this child neglect and stuff. No one wants to see her in this kind of capacity. So why they would promise that to her in the first place was absolutely freaking ridiculous. Guys, I really want to get some theories going before we find out what happened with the network. So I'm asking you, what do you think happened to the network? Like, why couldn't they have booked her work? Do you think it's because of her reputation? Like, why do you think they even attempted to? Like, they're in Tennessee, I hope it's not like super ignorant, but to me, I'm kind of thinking like the South to me, like, Tennessee or whatever, like that kind of a place, like she just does not gel with that at all. There's nothing really like country about her or like, the family values or whatever it is, or like there's nothing there that she could have like fit into their market for in any capacity to me. So I don't really understand that. And how bad do you think Jenelle is going to be dragging them? Just a quick reminder, guys, there's a little bit of a delay. I think it's about 20 seconds between you and I. So I'm going to take a little pause, sip some of my hot water, and wait to see what you guys have to say about what might be going on with everything here with the network. So sorry, I'm going to back it up real quick to Irene. By the way, I love that name. She will be blaming the haters. Oh, absolutely. But, the only reason she even has them is because of all of the foolish stuff she's been doing over the years. I don't think people dislike her for no reason, although she would love to believe that, right? Elegantly wasted. I love that. I think David sabotaged it. The thing about David is at this point, he didn't even know where she was. So I don't know that he would have had that kind of a pull, though it is a really good theory. It's Jenelle's bad reputation, says Jay Rice. I see Laugh Through Life agrees with me as well. Nobody wants to work with her from Christine Yu. Yeah, I'm seeing quite a lot of stuff here. What is it? Cancel culture would get her. She is a liability. She is 1,000% a liability anywhere she goes. And Cass says, I think it's because she got back together with David. I think there was a little bit of info leaking at the time about how this was a publicity stunt. I remember from the very beginning, I was like, this is not sticking or anything like that. It is 100% like, to fish. And then maybe she'll try to backdoor people and get back together with David. I say in quotes because they never actually broke up. Thank you, Agatha. Thank you so much. I just saw this one. Okay. Can't wait for tomorrow. Also, you're glowing today. Also, Jenelle's a mess. She's rude. She's a liability with her husband for any company's reputation. Yeah, it seems like we're all on like the exact same page here. Jamie, we're just talking about the network not being able to book Jenelle any sort of work. And we're kind of trying to have some like theories as to why that was. So Haley says she's too much of a liability. It's scary how David is one bad parking job away from shooting somewhere. It's very true. Like he is a terrifying person. It's very sad. And you know what? Remember how she filed that no contact order? She actually backtracks on that entire thing in this video, and that annoyed the heck out of me, which is something we're going to talk about. So, Jenelle started off the video complaining, and, she continues on. Next, she's complaining about, people in her circle calling her, texting her to ask about the things that they've been reading online. They're like, oh my God, is this true? Is that true? Is this really going on? And she's like, I want people to assume that things aren't true. I'm sick of people in my circle just calling me, texting me, only when they read articles, first of all. And second of all, assuming that everything that they read is true. And like, I get her sentiment there and everything, but at the very least, people are reaching out to her, once they hear that X, Y, and Z has been going on. I doubt that she is reaching out to people in her own circle as well. So for her to be upset with them for even like making that step, that gesture to show that like they're interested in what's going on and like maybe concerned about it, I don't know. I didn't love it. It's funny because as I'm rewatching Teen Mom 2 season 1 for my recaps, I'm noticing that this, when she was dating Kiefer, for example, she was looking for a place to stay after Barbara kicked them out. Kiefer, of course, was homeless. And she was like, I don't have any friends that I can possibly call to help us because I stopped talking to them when I started dating Kiefer. And, with David, well, first of all, Kiefer was laid back. I don't see him as the type to make that request from her, but David is very insecure and he's got no friends of his own. And like, he's very clingy as well. So for that reason, I don't see her reaching out to people. So she should at least appreciate other people reaching out to her despite never hearing from her. So anyway, she finishes that thought up by saying, listen, I want to have a small circle now. And it's kind of like, sis, you've never really had more than like 2 friends at a time. So you've kind of technically always had a small circle anyway. And so, since you're all looking for advice, first of all, you guys are all looking to take photos with Jenelle. You're just a little bit shy. And so she let you know it's fine. Just ask her for one and she'll give you a photo. That's her first little hint of advice for you. And her second hint of advice is, just stay off of social media. It's going to help you like escape the negativity, which is interesting, right? Because she never once stayed off social media in the midst of all of this. And she's not staying off social media now. In fact, she's running to social media to spill all about what went down. And then she says, listen, just meditate instead. And so Zen meditation Jenelle goes back to complaining. And this time it really was like peak Jenelle parenting to me. And I want to know if any of you guys caught this as well, if you watched it. Some of you guys just don't watch it. You're like, I want to get the tea here and I don't watch it. But if you watched it, or even if you didn't, this is what happens. She's complaining about not having toys in the hotel room next. She's like, I've got the kids here and there's like no toys. I didn't have any toys. Like I couldn't bring any toys. And I'm like, sis, you had time to hire camera people to follow you from North Carolina to Tennessee, filming you. Like you were coordinating all of this. You were paying the deposit. You were interviewing people. You were looking at people's video portfolios as you were plotting your quote unquote escape. You had time for that. But you couldn't even pick up not even an entire box of Lego, like one Lego block for your children. You could not pick up one doll for your daughter. You could not pick up one pack of Uno cards for your kids to play with in the hotel room. Does that not tell you everything you need to know about Jenelle as a mom, you guys? I mean, come on. It is not easy to choose someone to film videos. You're looking through all of these applications. You're doing emails. Maybe you're interviewing people. You're doing all sorts of things. And she managed to do all of that, but not bring a single damn toy for her children. And I agree with Bridget. Who's worse between her and Amber? Like these people are so damn like, I just don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. And it's just that they don't even really understand how bad it comes across, to like regular people. I think they just don't. I don't know what it is. I'm seeing from Bewitched Sammy, as a mother, you always pack for your kids before yourself. Shaking my head, Jenelle. Right? So she thinks of herself first, her husband second, and the kids come last. I absolutely agree, Tars. I absolutely freaking agree. This was just so crazy. And, of course she didn't bring toys. That would mean she showed maternal instinct. It also wouldn't get attention. Yeah, guys, it seems like we're all on the same page about this. It's quite wild. It really is quite wild. I was just kind of a little bit gobsmacked by, her just casually admitting it as if it's not like the most embarrassing thing ever. And, she's not done complaining yet. Next, she complains about the hotel not feeling like home because, of course it's a hotel. You're not decorating it. You're walking in there, paying your security deposit or whatever, paying off your stay and minding your own freaking business. She's like, it doesn't feel like home because it's not, like decorated the way I'd want. Sis, what? Like she's so weird. The whole, I don't know if it's like filler content, like she doesn't have much to put into this documentary situation or anything, but it's just so weird, the stuff that she's been saying in this video. It's just like the most oddest. No grocery delivery to the hotel, even though you're like 4 adults in there. No, people are taking photos of me, like instead of asking me for photos. Sis, they don't want to be near you, no. And just the list kind of goes on. No toys. You could have brought your toys and you just did not do it. I just don't understand it, you guys. By the way, the chat is going too quickly for me to catch up to it for now, but thank you guys so much for being here. It is so nice to see you. I'm really enjoying spending my Friday night with all of you. So yay to this. Yay to this. Thank you so much. I don't know. I think we kind of talked about this in part one, or as the series was playing out, but like a lot of people wondered how Marissa would have felt when she came home. Because remember, well, not even when she came home, while she was at home, realizing that her siblings and her step siblings and her stepmom were not going to come back. She's like, I did kind of like feel for Marissa. And of course, I felt bad for David too, but she doesn't even like kind of double down on feeling bad about like kind of shocking Marissa like that. She instead shifts the conversation to feeling bad for grown ass, abusive ass David. She goes, I especially, I felt bad for leaving David at the time, but it was the best for our relationship. We really got to sort out our feelings and we both got clearer about ourselves and our relationship. Meanwhile, Marissa's a little bit of an afterthought there. And it's sad. I know a lot of us talked about how freaking, sad. Thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you guys. Hey, Elle. And thank you so much, Light Laugh, you guys. How sad it was for Marissa to be left alone with David after everything that went down with CPS. Remember, Marissa was a whistleblower in the CPS case where she talked about how they were swearing all the time, fighting all the time. She talked about the abuse. She talked about being terrified of her father. She talked about Jenelle. Now, here she is a couple of months later being left alone in the house with that man. We heard her on the phone terrified to come back to the home to live with David, and Jenelle just up and left her, and she could not even give any more info about like why she felt bad for her or anything like that. She just kind of more talked about David's feelings, and I didn't understand that. Actually I do. It's Jenelle, Mom's Talking Shit podcast. I love this podcast, you guys. Poor Marissa, she's gonna talk one day, and I'll be here for it. Me too. I think she really does deserve to kind of say her piece and be able to kind of move on eventually. It's very sad what's happened to her. Let's see here. What else are you guys saying? David's gonna get David did get, how did he get custody of her, that poor girl? It is very weird to me. I don't know the full story with Olivia, and I would love to like get the tea from her after their kind of situation with David is cleared up. I know she's in the middle of a lawsuit with them. I think it's a revenge porn lawsuit where David and Jenelle kind of posted some intimate photos of her online. They were really upset about something. Marissa, that poor child is going to leave as soon as she turns 18. And here's hoping. It's too bad she couldn't pull a Drew Barrymore. Do you guys remember how Drew Barrymore managed to get herself emancipated when she was super duper young? That story is very sad, but it's great that she was able to kind of save herself. Ramster says Janelle's brain is too small to lie. It always catches up with her. Ain't that the damn truth? It is also too small to feel any kind of shame. Sorry, y'all. Jay Pena says, Grace, on a side note, will you ever recap the older seasons? I would love to hear you go in on them when they were all a mess. I do recap them. I recap season 1. I'm on episode 9. I'm recapping that tomorrow. I do them with my channel members. So if you guys want to catch those, definitely make sure to hit the join button down below. And, I do that every single week. So that's coming up over there as well with a few more episodes. Thank you for your updates. I don't want to be counted as a viewer on her channel. No problem. I am more than happy to take the L for all of us, Cindy. All those kids deserve so much better, and it's so sad. I love kids so much. I think they're so beautiful, so innocent. They deserve the best. So it's really sad to see them, get born into those kinds of situations. And a lot of people have always talked about how unhappy Marissa looks in those photos, and like when you hear these videos that they post online, it really just seems like a miserable environment for any person, let alone a child. I just come from a Zoom scavenger hunt with my coworkers. That's so fun, Piper. So far, we're just talking about Janelle's little documentary series and her constantly complaining about literally everything in it. It is quite wild. Thank you so much, Krissa. Love you too. And Katia says, hello. And I'm happy you're here as well. So what is the custody agreement with Nathan? So Nathan gets some supervised visits and everything like that. But for the most part, she's communicating with Doris in order to get through to Nathan. Nathan is forever a mess, so that is not going to change anytime soon. Thank you so much, Cash. She's telling you guys, become a member. Those lives are so fun and chill. Yes, I love them. They're like an hour per episode. I know the episodes are only 40 minutes or so, but like chatting about them and like really getting as many comments in there is so much fun to me. Imagine how traumatized Marissa is that David has custody of her, must have had a wild mother. She's seen more than any little girl should. It's crazy. I think the exact same thing, Yasmin. Like how the heck do you lose custody to a David freaking Eason of all people? I really do wonder what the deal is with Olivia. I know I heard some rumors about, I don't even want to put it out there because they are just rumors, but I guess we'll all see it kind of play out because she does have some kind of legal dispute going on with David. And I will be hearing a little bit more and more. So, moving on into the no contact order. So this is where Jenelle basically says, listen, I got the no contact order to get David to shut up on social media, to stop texting me, and to prevent him from being able to snatch up Ensley the same way that I did, And she also says that it was the talent agency and talent agency's lawyers that talked her into doing the no contact order. Did that stick out to anybody else as bizarre? Why is the talent agency advising you to do this? Or were they really advising you to do this? Or was it like more of like a casual off the record conversation where Jenelle's complaining about like potential abuse or whatever, and they're saying, if you feel this way, then I urge you to do this to protect yourself. Like I don't think that they would do that over social media or whatever, like Jenelle is claiming here. Like I don't think that is what no contact orders, what protective orders are for, to keep people from posting on freaking social media. Is that really what we're about to start clogging up our legal systems for? It's already hard enough for victims of abuse to get help without, this sort of a thing. It's a little bit of a mess here. And it really kind of like irritated me. You know what I mean? And she also like doubled down and said, listen, I wanted it to just be temporary, to teach him to be civil and stop lashing out. But the accusations in that order that she got were pretty damn serious. Remember, she was talking about like being scared for her life. She was saying that she was scared for her children's lives. She was talking about David locking Kaiser into a running car where he could have, succumbed to carbon monoxide poisoning. I just don't get it. And now you're saying this was just to keep him off of social media? Like, is that not perjury? Is that not perjury? It's bizarre. It really is. Welcome, Rebel with a Cause. I'm really looking forward to recapping episode 9 of Teen Mom 2 Season 1 with you and the rest of the gang tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining. Guys, at this point, do you believe what was in Jenelle's non-contact order that she filed? Because here's the thing. I believe what she wrote down. We all know that David is crazy. She even did. Stephanie's reminding me, she talked about Nugget and him shooting the dog and everything. That definitely happened. And we know that David is a bit of a mess, right? Like, so why is she kind of downplaying all of this all over again? Like, yeah, it's because she's back with David, but she's also like saying a lot of really unflattering things about him. So you would think that she would be open to, I don't know. Guys, I'm really curious. What do you think the deal is? In fact, you know what? I'm going to put a link here. If you guys want to hop on audio or video or anything like that to let me know, that the StreamYard link is in the comment section down below. I'm a little bit stumped about this. I know it happened. We know it happened. So why is she playing dumb now all of a sudden? Welcome, Brandy. I'm so excited to see you tomorrow. Make sure to vote to let me know what time you want me to go live tomorrow. Janelle likes to live in drama and is stuck in her own drama. I think she just keeps creating her own drama. Is that like right? It's just a little, I don't know. I'm really disappointed though to see her kind of walk back on something so freaking, you know what I mean? Like critical and important and dangerous and everything like that. I just don't know, you guys. But you know what? I am really looking forward to hearing what you guys' theories are about all of that. And remember, there is a little bit of a delay, so we might have to come back to this if someone decides to kind of hop on and talk about their opinions and thoughts with me. So she goes through a timeline of the relationship, and this was, I think, to help her get the no contact order. So we next see her on the bed, and she's like going through her phone, going through her photos, and she's like, you know, if I go through my photos, then like maybe it'll jog my memory of like, you know, all the like bad times that I could like kind of put into this order that I am, requesting from a judge or whatever. And so she goes through all her photos and she kind of determines, according to her, that things didn't start going south for them until David was fired from Teen Mom 2. But we know that that's not true, you guys, because, oh, by the way, sorry, people are asking how to become a member. So I've got the comment right there in the comment section down below. Go ahead and click it if you're interested in becoming a member of the channel to watch those Teen Mom season 1, 2 live streams that I do over the weeks. So like we saw, for example, I'm freaking raking or whatever, that scene where like he's screaming at her the day before their wedding or weeks leading up to their wedding. And like we saw, remember that like critical episode of Teen Mom 2 where she was like so freaking silent when the producers came after a big fight that happened and she's just looking at her, what was it, a lizard or something? Like she was just staring at some random thing. Like there were so many like clues about them having these issues, but for some reason she's rewriting history again. And I'm really curious about why exactly that is, and I'm curious if she's going to come back and double down and say, forget everything, like this is the real truth, like in the future, because we know that like she and David are going to fall out again. And I think that things will get extremely ugly between the two of them. And then maybe we'll finally, like when she's done, she finds someone else, get the real truth of what happened between her and David. Yasmin says, Jenelle's the type to out David when she's mad. When she's in a good mood, she takes the blame for everything she said. Yeah, when she's mad and David becomes her Prince Charming again, it's scary to watch. It's true. Like, is her memory that short? Because sometimes it's true. Like, that's why this cycle of toxic relationships go on for so long. Like, your memory can be a little bit short when it comes to people that you were like obsessed with and so in love with. So maybe she genuinely like, is in that place where she's so like quote unquote happy for the time being that like she's like, oh, like maybe I was blowing out of proportion X, Y, and Z. And it makes me sad for her. In fact, didn't like her DMs get leaked by another YouTuber? She was talking about like about the abuse she was allegedly suffering, at the hands of David to another YouTuber who leaked the DMs. And that was all stuff that Jenelle wanted to remain private and off the record, and all stuff that should have remained private and off the record. But unfortunately, it was leaked. And those are the things that I do believe, I'm seeing from Laura. Thank you so much for the super chat. My first live. Let me click before I forget. Hi from Houston, Texas. We're defrosting finally. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, you guys. I should have said that at the very beginning. I really hope you guys are doing well over there in Texas. I've always wanted to visit Houston, Texas, Laura. I'm so glad to hear that you guys are defrosting. And I'm so sorry to hear about your senator escaping to freaking Mexico. What happened to building a wall? Now all of a sudden he's in Mexico running away while his people are freezing. Okay. So sorry about that, Laura, but thank you so much for being over here. And T, that is something that we've always been hearing about Jenelle, and I could not agree anymore. David's crazy. I wasn't put my kids thought, what was this? David's crazy. I wouldn't put my kids thought abusive relationship abusive relationship over a man. Me neither. But unfortunately, Jenelle is just not built like that, you guys. She just never really had a chance. And, she's just really desperate to be loved. And it's sad to watch. It's something you really see play out in season 1 of Teen Mom 2. And in fact, a lot of people kind of expect me to drag her and the other girls in Teen Mom 2. And all of you guys will see, the new members especially. Barbara was the problem in the early days of Teen Mom 2 with Jenelle, so I think you'll be pleasantly surprised to kind of see some new sides to Barbara and everything, like, well, at least from my perspective anyway. By the way, Elegantly Wasted, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome. Don't forget, you guys, watch. There's so many other recaps and like other vlogs and videos over there in the channel membership section. So don't be shy. Cindy's, I hope you are staying warm as well. So sorry about what's going on over there in Houston. It's one thing to downplay it, but she's full on lying. Should be charged with a false police report. I agree. Like, these girls, they need to at a certain point be held accountable for what it is that they're doing. How do I feel about Jenelle? I feel like she's one of those cases where it's like she's horrible and everything, but like, what example did she really have to be a better person? And especially when you rewatch Teen Mom season 1, Teen Mom 2 season 1, her mom really kept shooting her in the foot, cutting like the legs of her table out from under her on purpose and everything. So, it's a little bit of a complicated relationship that I have with her. Welcome, Cakes. Welcome to the channel. Want to become a member? Don't know. It's $2.99 per month. It's a very like a Starbucks tea or something like that. Fellow Houstonians, Laura, stay warm, you guys in Houston, and welcome, Tars, you guys. Okay, so I am now catching up on everything. Okay, now let's see here. Where are we next? We're winding up to the end of her video, right? And again, I'm still wondering, I don't believe that a talent agency told her to file a no contact order to get David to stop talking about her on social media. I don't believe that them and their lawyers would tell her to abuse the system in that way. I think she told them the truth about what it is that he was doing. You don't just escape a man, hire a camera crew, take all of the kids and everything and risk, I don't know, whatever, over social, like, you know what I mean? Like, for no reason, like something was happening. And I believe that she told them the truth. She let Barbara like explain how controlling and suffocating David was. Like, she told him the truth. And, now she's kind of like rewriting history and glazing over it here, you guys. So what happens next? Oh, so she goes through that timeline to try and figure out like when it all started. Again, she blames it on him being fired from MTV. Then she shows us a video of her complaining about David leaving with her car. I don't know. That video didn't really prove that much to me. It's like David he just left with your car. It's like, I don't know. What do you want me to do about it? Like, he had the keys to your car, so I guess like he was welcome to drive it sometimes. Maybe this time, like, he just wanted to drive it to blow off some steam. Like, I don't think that that's enough there. And then she talked about how she would regularly, oh God, this was so creepy, you guys. She would regularly film her conversations with David to play them back to him, to see where they were going wrong in all of their arguments and work through things together as a couple as well. Guys, would you date someone like this, where every single time you're fighting with them, there's a video clip somewhere because they were either like filming you like this to your face or whatever, or they were secretly filming you? I would be so freaking uncomfortable because it starts off that way where they're filming your arguments or whatever. Then what is it next? They're trying to coax you into something so that they can film it to have evidence for something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It is so shady and weird. And I would be really uncomfortable with someone like that. Your first reaction in the middle of a disagreement with your significant other, in my opinion, should not be to go ahead and film them. I don't think it's a normal one unless you are legitimately being abused. And that's why I'm still here like, okay, Jenelle, stop lying. We know that something worse was happening, that this is your first reaction. In a normal argument, you don't need to do stuff like this. I don't think so. I think it's very weird. No. I'm seeing from Krista, hell no, right? No. And he says, I think she's sick and needs help. I think she's needed help for a very, very, very long time. And again, I feel like I say this all the time, but it's worth repeating. Dr. Drew said Viacom is one of the best employers when it comes to reality TV people's mental health because they will give you free, unlimited access. You, your mom, your kids, everybody, to mental health care, like around the clock practically. And these people don't take them up on it. So she's needed help for a long time, Annie, but has she ever taken it? Doesn't seem like it. David's not a saint by any means, but Jenelle has her hand in this toxic marriage too. I completely agree with you, Kayla. Like, we've seen over the years how toxic and nasty and like unreasonable Jenelle can be. I definitely agree. But, some of the stuff that David's done here, not only to her, but to the children, I don't know. I think it's an extreme level there, Has it ever come to anyone's mind that he could be threatening her in private, telling her to change her story? Oh, that's a good point, Kaylee. I didn't even think about that for this recap. I think you could be quite right. Like, he let a couple of things slip here and there. We saw some comments that were not flattering about David, just enough to let us believe that she's telling us the truth. And now when it comes to the real deal, like the stuff that was in that no contact order, she's just going to gloss over it and act like it was just for social media. Not so sure about that. So thank you so much for pointing that out, Kaylee. Tara says she hired them. I think she's talking about the video people. But yes, that's weird. Why would anyone film arguments? I don't know. Like, to me, the only thing I can really think of now is because she was legitimately being abused and needed proof of it. Right? And now she's kind of like flipping it over to something like this. Welcome, Jay Pena. Nice to have you as a member. Thank you so much for joining. And welcome to you, Stephanie, as well. Thank you so much for joining. It's so nice to see you guys. Okay, I'm really, really loving all the feedback you're giving here. So now, like, her final kind of like thing here is that she says in the end, even though she was kind of abusing the system with a no contact order, she doesn't say she was abusing it. I'm saying that. She feels as though it was warranted because it did serve as a big wake up call for David. and helped him to stop sharing degrading memes and stuff like that about her online. The stuff he was posting was quite nasty. It was very misogynistic. It was very against her body, against everything. Like, he called her a horrible mother to their kids, to his kid. Like, he really went in on her. And, to me, the fact that she's even back with him just goes to show what kind of like hold this man has over her mind, because it is absolutely not freaking normal, you guys. Not freaking normal. I'm seeing Marie Luma says there's a video of Nathan getting arrested on Teen Mom 2. Why am I a guy? Yes, there is. It was another domestic violence situation. There's something, I don't know. I feel really bad that she's constantly in like these sorts of like domestic violence relationships. But, like someone else said up top, I'm so sorry, I'm forgetting your name, but that she does. But I remember your cute little cat ears and the jewel and the nice wing liner. That Jenelle is a toxic partner herself, and it just keeps on going and going. David wanted her money. She has no self-esteem, and he knew it. But the wild thing is, Krista, and something that shocks me too, is that he's still here. Why is he still here? Is it because she has like some savings left and they're running through that right now and he's waiting for that to run out to kind of, I don't know, go on to his next mark or whatever? I don't know. But for some reason, David is still freaking here. And I just don't get it. Guys, what's the conspiracy theory there? Huh? Welcome, Andrea. Thank you so much for joining. And welcome, Perlita, as well. Thank you guys for joining. I'm really looking forward to recapping tomorrow. Perfectly Piper says, to be fair, Dr. Drew also said that it's a good thing that Jenelle needs to be contained. Dr. Drew's a mess. I still cannot believe that comment. Barbara was really trying to help him, not help him, get him to help her get through to Jenelle about David and how toxic he is. And this was all he could say, that Jenelle did need to be contained. My heart still is a little like, ouch, like, it feels like it's being wrung over that comment, because I don't think that was what anybody needed to hear at that point. And I really hope that that's not something that helps Jenelle feel like, her relationship is justified. The fact that a doctor told her that it was okay, and that it was something that she did need. I don't know. It really makes me sad. Oh, hey, Kiki. Who is he going to find that's better? That's a good question. That is a good freaking question. I don't know, especially now the way that his name and like everything has been drugged through the mud. In fact, you guys, I don't know what it was, but something came out recently where we find out, actually, thank you for bringing this up, Kiki, that this is my last bit of tea, by the way, because the video is done. So this recap is done, but last bit of tea that you guys probably already know because it was already public. And I don't remember why it was, but it's public. David is now on like all kinds of like anxiety medication and I think antidepressive medication as well, I believe. But I know for sure anxiety medication. And I think it's as a result of his online reputation. Like, he knows he is very hated. He knows that people are disgusted by him. And so I think now, like, that is really hitting him. You know what? I know where it came out. Episode 1 of this. Episode 1. This documentary that Jenelle put out. So he is on, like, anti-anxiety medication and depressive medication and stuff like that because he knows about his public perception. And it's weird that he keeps it going and, like, keeps growing this bigger hate for himself and keeps making it worse, versus just calming down, maybe going off the grid and everything like that, or maybe changing, apologizing, repenting, something to change the way people view him so that he can, kind of have a little bit of an easier time in his life. I found that quite weird. So now let me see here. What are the comments coming in? Grace, please tell me if you watched The Young and Pregnant. Rachel, she's a mess. Not sure if she's worse than Jenelle. Is that the Beaver girl, Rachel Beaver or something like that? I watched like one episode of Young and Pregnant, but I don't know. I just never really got into it, so I don't really know her vibe or anything like that. But if they bring it back, I'll give it a try again. I just heard out my window a dog. Oh my God, I heard the dog crying until it went faint. Oh my goodness, that is horrific. Oh, Jesus. People are so crazy. Oh my God, I can't even believe that. How is it that Jenelle and David always seem to get out of their court cases with barely any consequences? I know. And even the towing case, David got out of that practically scot-free, right? Like it seemed like something was going to happen for a little bit of that, but nope. Afterwards, nope. They kind of just like closed everything out. Anyway, you guys, on that note, thank you so much for joining me today. It was so nice to recap episode 2 of Jenelle's Addicted to Growth series. I'm going to be doing a pre-recorded version of episode 3 for you tomorrow. Also tomorrow, another reminder, recapping episode 9 of Teen Mom 2 season 1 in my channel membership section. If you guys want to join that, the link is down there in the chat box below. I'm pinning it right here. And vote. I'm going to put up that poll after shooting this video for you guys. Vote on when it is that you want me to go live. And in the meantime, all my new members, make sure to go back, binge watch all the videos. There's so many videos out there. So definitely binge watch it all, the recaps, the vlogs, the whatever it might be that you are interested in. It is over there. Again, thank you guys so freaking much for being here. It is so nice to chat with you. And I will be like trying to do more lives. It's just so difficult with the time change and everything. But, you know, I'm really like dedicated to it because I love like, you know, talking to you like in real time. Thank you so much, Laugh Through Life. Oh my God, you guys are all so sweet. Piper, we're going to be voting on that. So keep an eye out, you guys. And last but not least, welcome Shoshana West to my channel membership. It is so nice to have you, and I'm looking forward to making my videos. That's all for now, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for plenty more videos as well. Take care and have a great and safe weekend, everybody. Bye now.